So we all been anticipating Eagles football and we're 2 days away. Let's go over the final injury report and some notes. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are new to the channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, go right ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on post notifications so you know when I go live or drop some content. On that note, if you are excited for Eagles football and think that, hey, we can't count no team out with all this unknown, but we ain't wait all this time to go 0-1 in week 1, smash that like button. With all that being said, let's jump into some of the injury news. Before we get into the injury news, I want to let you guys know that today around 8 o'clock Eastern time, I should be going live, so come through and hang out and let's talk birds. Also, tomorrow, Saturday, I should be collabing with Darius Dalton. We're not sure on the time, but keep your eye out for that. And lastly, if you didn't catch my Washington versus Eagles preview, I put it out late last night because YouTube was acting up, and it came out around the time that the Chiefs and Texans were playing. So check it out. I did say we were home. I made a mistake. I know Washington is home, but check out the preview and let me know your thoughts. Now let's get to the injury news. So here's the Eagles injury report. Jalen Reagor is officially off the injury report and will play Sunday. I'll talk about my feelings about that in a little bit. However, Alshon Jeffrey and Javon Hargrave will not play week 1. We all kind of knew that. And Lane Johnson, Miles Sanders, and Derek Barnett are questionable as Friday practice ends. Well, there is the injury report. You guys know that the Eagles always release it Friday after practice, and there we got it. Now, Jalen Reagor not being on the injury report is a good sign. Remember, just a couple weeks ago during practice, Jalen Hurts threw an interception, and where most guys will make a business decision saying, it's just practice, I'm not going to go try to tackle the defense in practice. We're talking about practice, to quote the famous Allen Iverson, but Jalen Reagor got that DNA in him where he doesn't care if it's practice, training camp, preseason, or a real game. He's going to go play until the whistle blows, and he goes to make a tackle on a defender and hurts his shoulder. And everybody's talking blah, blah, blah. He's going to miss this, going to miss that. 4 weeks, saying he wasn't going to come back till week 4. Well, 4 weeks will only have let him miss till week 2. And I was comfortable with him missing week 1, week 2, or week 3. However, he wants to play week 1, and the guys took him off the injury report, so he should be good enough to go. I am concerned, though, a dislocated shoulder, you fall wrong on it, something along them lines, it could linger or get worse. I don't want to force him because this is week 1 against the Washington football team. We still got a long season ahead of us, and the Eagles are known for rushing people back or just getting injured in general. So, would I love him out there on Sunday? Yes. Am I happy he's a competitor and got back way earlier than people said? Yes. But also, I want him to make the smart decision. It's his career, and it's our team that we're going to count on his production, and we can't have a report later, well, he's been playing with a hurt shoulder because we rushed him back on some JJ Arcega-Whiteside Part 2. However, I don't think that's going to happen, but Jalen Reagor, you're a trooper. Go out there and ball out if you 100% feel you're up to the task. Now, let's get to these other guys who are questionable. Lane Johnson. Reports coming out that he had ankle surgery in August. We're talking about last month he had ankle surgery, so I want him out there week 1 to protect the right side because a guy like Chase Young doesn't always line up on the left. He can line up on the right. He can move around. So we got JP blocking the blind side, and we need Lane Johnson blocking the right side. However, we can't risk a guy who had ankle surgery to crack it or snap it or sprain it or something, and then he's out for the long haul. So it's all about making the smart decision. I know we want to come in and smoke the Washington football team, but I think we can honestly do that with a subpar team. Now, the sad part is the best part of their team is their front four, and that's the part we need Lane Johnson for, but I think we can get away with it. Again, I don't want to risk Lane Johnson to injury for week 1. Like I said about Jalen Reagor, if he's 100% ready to go, let him go ball. And same with Lane. I just don't want to have these two go out and something happens to them because of week 1, where now instead of just having them sit for week 1 or week 2, they end up missing a long period of time in the stretch of football where we need them. When we're playing teams like the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Saints, the Packers, that's when we need to be 100% healthy so we can compete at a high level. No disrespect to the Washington football team, but week 1, a lot of guys need to get acclimated. And yes, they only won 3 games. I know the culture, the coaching is all different, but I much rather be healthy for the big dogs than week 1 versus the Washington football team. So yes, I want to see Miles Sanders, Lane Johnson, and Jalen Reagor. And shout out to Jalen Reagor for just being tough enough to come back way earlier than people expected. However, I do not want to risk the longevity of this team for week 1. So that's all my thoughts on that. Like I said, if you haven't watched the Washington vs. Eagles preview, go back and check that out. We're going to be talking live streams with Darius Dalton today by myself. And don't forget about BBP Sunday morning before the Eagles take on the Washington football team. With all that being said, I really didn't touch on Derek Barnett because I really don't know where he's at. I know Doug Peterson tries to put him in the same category as Miles and Lane, but he ain't practiced really at all since training camp got going. So if he's in the same boat, is it a good boat? Is it a bad boat? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on Miles, Lane, and Derek Barnett. Should they play? Will they play? And how you feel about that. But Jalen Reagor, it's not about will he play or not. He gonna play Sunday. He just needs to be good. Make sure that shoulder is working real good, my guy, before you take the field. On that note, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections about these injuries. What would you do? What is your advice? And check out that Washington vs. Eagles preview. It's pretty good, even though I messed it up by saying the Eagles are home. What's wrong with me? I already took a bet on the Eagles -5.5 on the road. That's what happens when you don't upload in 3 days. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.